There's nothing you can do that's going to bring you and your family more peace, prosperity, certainty inside your heart, inside your mind, than experiencing communion with God.
Brother, welcome to another episode of the Elite Game Podcast with your host, Mauricio Rocha. So, bro, I was going to come here and talk about something else, but on the way here, I was listening to the PBD podcast, and you probably listened to it too. Very popular show. They do a great job relating the news, discussing topics that matter, politics, business, money, and Israel is at war with Iran. Like, this is not something really new because we knew this was coming. Well, they're not really at war because war means like a full-blown, one versus the other. So it is a strike that they perform at Iran's nuclear facilities, destroying most of their nuclear research facilities and killing about 50 of their top people. Without getting to details of this particular situation, that triggered me to think about, okay, like all this uncertainty out there, all this shit that I cannot control. How can I, as a man, bring peace, stability, certainty into my home, to my family? Like, how can I do that? Or what can I do in order to provide the most certainty that I can to my wife, to my kids? What can I do as a man? And that got me thinking, and I came up with a couple of things that it worked for me, and I think it might work for you. I cannot control shit that happens outside of my walls. I cannot control what happens with the government, what happens with other businesses. I cannot control what happens with my neighbor. I cannot control what happens even with my children when they're not with me. And even with me, I have a limited amount of control, right? The only thing that I have fully control over is my actions, what I do. And because of what I do, of what I choose to do, I can build myself to the type of person, to the type of man that can radiate energy to my family and to others of security, of strength, of peace, of prosperity, or the opposite, or fear, or uncertainty, or scarcity. Like, I choose. And this is a choice. Why? This is a choice because this is a choice that happens daily. This is a choice that happens all the time. Like, I choose to do the things that by doing them, I'm going to get a little more confident. By doing that, I'm going to get a little more wise. By doing those, I'm going to get a little stronger. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. You see, you as the leader of your household, of your home, you as the man, you bring either stones to your family or bread. You bring the best of you or the worst of you. And it's always your choice. Now, how can I build myself to the person that when I show up, when I'm in the house, that people feel safe and prosperous and peaceful around me? What can I do? The number one thing that I can do, and this is from personal experience because I know the man that I was and I know the man that I am now. One of the things, the most important thing that I can do as the leader of my household is work on my faith with the Lord. Be a man of faith. Be a man with a purpose. Be a man that submits to Christ. Be a man that gets his power from God first. That is the ultimate thing that I can do in order to bring to my family what they need, especially in times of uncertainty. Do not underestimate what I'm telling you. I'm going to talk about other stuff that as a man I can do as well, and it also works. But nothing like this. There's nothing you can do that's going to bring you and your family more peace, prosperity, certainty inside your heart, inside your mind, than experiencing communion with God. Working on your faith. He will give that to your family through you. Do not underestimate what I'm telling you. This is number one. This is from my experience as a man that before didn't really have a lot of faith. Almost none. I mean, I believe God existed, whatever the definition of God that was taught to me in my early ages. But that was about it. Look, I've been a man with no faith, and I am now a man with faith. So I'm telling you from experience, that's number one. Now, here are some other things that you can do as well so you can build up the energy inside so you can give that to your family. Peace, prosperity, calmness. Work on your routine. Create a routine. Why? When I create a routine, when I create a group of things that I do daily, no matter what, no matter if I feel like it, when I create a routine and I implement the routine into my daily habits, when I do that, then I am constantly progressing. I am constantly getting better. I am constantly growing. Constantly. Every day I'm growing. Now my routine involves working on my body, my physical self, my strength, working on my relationships at home, the relationship with my wife, the relationship with my children, learning about business and money. That's part of my routine as well. And building my faith. So my routine daily is now a weapon that I have that makes me stronger physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So by having a routine, by having these daily habits that I do throughout time, I'm able to have more of a peace energy, more of a confident energy. That's what happens, bro. That's what happens. When you start eating healthy, when you start working out, when you start feeling your body stronger, that makes you feel good, that makes you more confident. When you start working on your relationship with your children and your wife daily, that love, that wanting to be around you, that receiving energy that they have towards you, that love is going to fill you up and give you more power. And it's going to make you feel amazing. By learning about money, because money is like oxygen. If you don't have oxygen in your lungs, in your heart, in your blood, you die. And if you don't have money, you probably don't solve 99% of your problems. Because you can solve 99% of your problems with enough money. You can. How do I know that? Because I've been a place where I have no money, in debt, scarcity, like I got nothing, minus nothing, to a place where I have a surplus and I have abundance in my life. You can absolutely have a better relationship with your wife by having more money. Why? Because you can have money to hire a babysitter, to hire people to take care of your kids so you can go out on dates. Working on your finances, working on your business, working on how money works, learning that daily is something that throughout time is going to also give you confidence as a man, as a provider. So if you do these things daily, then you are working on becoming the man that your family needs you to be, especially on times like this when there's uncertainty in the air. There's always uncertainty in the air. I know there's always shit that's going on in the world. But it feels like sometimes the air is a little heavier than other times, right? So how can I be the type of man that comes home and your family feels safe and secure? Daily habits, man. Daily habits and routines is my number, well, not my number one, because I already told you what my number one is. But it's the second most important thing that you can do as a man. And this shit works. It works by working on your faith, by spending time with God, by listening to what He tells you to do and do the things He tells you to do, to seek refuge in His Word. If you do these things, and if you have daily habits, if you have a routine where you work on your body, on your money, on your relationships, if you do this, you will be immovable. You will be immovable when it comes to all the uncertainty outside in the world, because in your house, in your home, you are the centerpiece. That it might get windy. It might get rocky. You might suffer attacks from here, from there, from here, from there. You, as the immovable piece, will be there to protect, to provide, and to always give your family what they need the most, which is a sense of security. Do these things, brother, and I promise that you will start building that immovable man that your family deserves. That's a promise. Why do I know that shit works? Because I'm still a work in progress, man. That's the truth. That's the truth. But I know where I've been and I know where I am now by doing these things. And I know that at the end of the day, when shit hits the fan, I am the immovable piece. How about you, bro? Playing this game of life in a way that keeps the family as the centerpiece of everything, and God as a foundation, and you as a leader of your family, is, in my experience, the most direct path to peace and prosperity, bro. It is. See you next time.